this is Scottagorn doing a replay from November 23rd of 2024. We've got another green Pastures match for you. On the right side, there's Scottagorn in the middle against Pcap, China Vanilla. Right team also Skippy, China Vanilla. Up top versus Pancake, GLA Demo. Sending workers to the middle already. And on the bottom, Neo, Super Weapon versus Tytan. Across from him, USA Air Force. So everyone's going to be charging to the middle as quickly as they can on this map. Got a dozer and missile defenders coming out. Drone to see Paul's base. Pancake. A couple of workers starting tunnels. Don't see any infantry from Skippy yet, so they're probably going to get up. Tunnel. Garrison off the front supply for Skippy. And looks like he might make both of those. Unless Skippy can shoot one of them down. Neo and Titan. He was able to garrison that civilian building, but Titan chases him off of the EMP turret in the middle. Now looks like he's going to get the garrisons up top. Neo, though, after being chased off, coming back to the EMP turret, seeing if he can finish it off. Titan retargets and sends in a ranger. Flashbangs the building. He's going to take it for himself. Advantage goes to Titan. Skippy does shoot down one of those workers, so that tunnel is not complete, but Pancake able to bring another worker in, complete the tunnel. He's got 3 up front, a couple of garrisons. Skippy bringing in the flame tank. Almost pointed in the right direction. Not quite as powerful as it could be there. Down in the middle. And I sent in units early, was able to get there before Paul. Paul sent in some infantry as well, but I chased him back. Now completing a fire base and sending in a single Humvee into the back of this China base. Not too scared of that dragon tank. Let's see how many trucks I can take down before those tank hunters catch up with me, because those are the ones that are going to do real damage to the Humvee. Able to take out the trucks, take out the flame tank, and Titan trying to laser lock some Humvees. Neo sees it, brings them up. Okay, I like the garrison idea. I'm thinking Skippy's just going to take care of it, though. Yep, took care of it. So now I'm coming into Titan's base, and I take out a dozer here. I think Tyler might have been waiting for enough money to be able to build that back supply. He only has the one supply up front here. Turret there, so I can't chase down the Chinooks. I see Paul's bulldozer. I am able to see it from the top of my screen. That is Paul's last dozer. He does not have a command center, so if I had just chased it down, taken it out, that would have been worth losing the Humvee over, since I lose it anyways. I take out the barracks, but not much else. So, but that Humvee does actually get a lot done, because Tyler never does build that back supply of his. So he goes against Neo with a single supply for the entire game. Neo, for the moment, just one supply as well. We'll end up building a second one up there a little bit later in the game. I have not captured my oils yet. Pancake. Able to bunker off the middle nicely and has both the oils. Skippy giving him some issues. Alright, 4 fully loaded Humvees. A couple of rangers to go in there and capture the oils in a little bit. I put, what are those, sentry drones? Not the ones I needed. I looked away, drove my Humvees in, and lost all 4 loaded Humvees, which evened it up between me and Paul a lot. Paul's still on the back foot. He hasn't rebuilt his trucks yet. Does have a full supply right here, defending it with the Gatling tank, a couple of Gatling tanks. But if I had been able to run those 4 Humvees around at will, that would have been the end of Pcap's game. Finally capturing my oils, but I was... it took me a while to recover from that. I was stunned that I had made that big of a mistake and that it cost me that much, because that flipped the game around. Neo and Tyler duel over these oils constantly. throughout the game. Titan about to capture one of them here. So Neo has a second supply, only one Chinook on it. I've got 2 Chinooks on my back supply, 1 Chinook up front, building a strategy center. Skippy able to get through this garrison with the flame tank. And survives those 2 RPG troopers, but I think might go down to the tunnel now. Yep, got a little too close to the tunnel. Lost it. Back and forth between Neo and Titan. The flashbangs come into play. Humvees are coming into play. There's laser locks. Now Titan bringing in an Avenger to help with some of the missiles. And now Skippy 2 Battle Masters and a flame tank against 5 Scorpions fully loaded with rockets. From Pancake takes out a Battle Master. Working on, takes out the Dragon Tank, and now 5v1 on this Battle Master. However, these tank hunters are going to do well for Skippy. And then the mines make a difference as well. So Pancake had a large force, lost some of them to tank hunters, lost other ones to mines, and Skippy stays safe for now. So my front line is okay. Pcap's able to rebuild and now has a defensive line up front, so I'm looking for other ways into his base. Titan charging in with some Humvees. Got a little bit too close to Neo's Humvee and to his missile defender. Lost the Humvees and lost an Avenger because of it. So this is still back and forth on the south side. Pcap with 1 Gatling tank to help out, able to deny the garrison. However, Neo flashbangs Titan out of that top spot again. Here we go between Pancake and Skippy. This game was intense. All 3 layers of the map had constant back and forth battles between these players. No one was given any breathing room at any point. Pancake's pushing his Skippy space up top. Skippy's talking about how many Scorpion tanks there are, so I think I say, you know, if you want help, just ask for it. I've destroyed the supply down there for Pcap with the Colonel Burton, but I'm going to refocus up top, bring these 5 loaded Humvees up. They don't have tow missiles yet. Bring them up to try to help Skippy out with this group of tanks from Pancake. Trying to keep my distance. I do have search and destroy, but those Scorpion rockets, once they're fired, they will find you even if you drive away. Trying to keep distance. Pancake only 4 left, decides to drive back. And now the next phase of the game down here on the south side. Titan has USA Air Force able to bring in some Raptors. That is going to be the next thing that Neo talks about needing help with down on the south side. Since he does not have the Avengers to deal with them. I think he did at some point. Now Pancake bringing in a larger army. Dealt with the Gatling turret, but that's really not the one that he needed to be targeting first. I think if you're going to be going against a China bunker with Scorpion tanks, you should save all of your Scorpion rockets for that bunker. Yeah, that's worth retreating for a little bit in order to refresh those rockets, I think, because now after all that, 2 Scorpion tanks and 1 Toxin tractor left over. And then I've got a little bit larger Humvee group coming up north again to help mop that up. So constant contact from these 2 teams, the west team and the east team here. Pancake brought in a large force, but since they're locked in struggle so constantly, he doesn't have anything, no defensive line behind that in order to protect his base. And so if anyone does a 2v1 situation, that one person that's on their own can get overwhelmed quickly because everyone's just throwing everything they have against the opposite player. Here's some troops backing up Pancake's base. So he did have some back here from his dual war factories ready to go. I empty one Humvee in order to deal with the buggies, because I don't want my Humvees getting picked off one by one, but Pancake smartly bringing in the toxin tractor to deal with missile defenders. So I'm trying to keep distance from the bunker, trying to keep distance from the buggies. And down on the south side, still constant back and forth. Neo brings in an Avenger to deal with the King Raptors. And the back of Neo's base, now there's a couple of RPG troopers in that palace, so I empty out the Humvees just to make a mass of attackers. That way they can't be taken out quickly by buggies. It takes out a Humvee, sure, but it doesn't take out a fifth of my troops with it. Able to deal with some GLA troops nicely just by emptying out the Humvees. So my front line has been kind of unchallenged by Paul for the most part, until he brings in the nuke cannon. And it looks like he's a little distracted at the moment up in Pancake's base, going to go try and help out. But then he's going to retarget and send that nuke cannon against my front line, so wasn't much I could do about that. And then Pancake stalls my offensive effort on his base here by putting a rebel ambush right in the middle of my troops. I was not watching, otherwise I definitely would have had those Humvees at least retarget on the rebels. As it is, they do a nice job of taking out my troops before I can completely take out that command center. Okay, something took out that. Something took out the first nuke cannon from Pcap. I don't remember what. Skippy with General's promotion still able to bomb Pancake's front line, and now finally able to, this late in the game, start collecting from this second supply dock. So that'll help Skippy rebuild, get back into it. Neo looking like he's getting a bit of a lead on Tyler, however. Titan taking out one of the oils now, so Neo 2 supplies and an oil. Titan out of money. No secondary eco, has an open supply dock back there that he never capitalized on. Really needs to be a large focus in the game of finding money, collecting money. And all of these incursions into Neo's base are great. He's getting the better of Neo by a bit, especially with this last push here. But just imagine what he could have done with a whole another supply dock to play with. Taking out tons of Humvees, taking out the Avengers. But now Neo coming in with Rangers to mop that up, so that'll be as far as it gets. Neo's offensive input taken out there, but Titan still just kept on the edge of the base. Skippy now able to rebuild to the point where he's able to bring in a nice strong China force against this tunnel, slowly pushing Pancake back out of the middle. The oils have been destroyed. My oils have been attacked, destroyed by, I assume, Inferno cannons and nuke cannons. But I've been dealing with a Black Lotus in the back of my base, stealing things, stealing a supply center, trying to steal my command center. And I don't have any planes, I don't have any tomahawks, nothing to deal with that. And instead, I'm going south to help Joe deal with a paradrop, I believe it was. So I know that there's just one nuke cannon. I can barely see it at the edge of my view. And I know I've got defenses there, so I'm just going to let these defenses slowly die and ignore everything that Paul's doing on the edge of my base. And just hope that by the time he breaks through that so slowly with a single nuke cannon, we will have done enough damage somewhere else on the map that it'll even out, or we can punch through and win the game before Paul gets to my actual base. Paradrop for myself, and those two arms dealers are wedged nicely together, so I'm able to get quite a bit done against Pancake's army here in the back. Take out probably over half of the tanks that he had there. Skippy still slowly advancing. Now has the overlords. That'll pay dividends for sure. Neo clears out that infantry group with the right amount of Rangers there. Now the goal is to get through Tyler's line. Well, the line of defenses starts at the bottom, works halfway up, but right about here is an open route until you see, well, those planes coming over, the garrison from Pcap as well as the outpost from Pcap. So while I'm doing that, Pcap's advancing on my base, but just hoping that we can do enough down south to make up for what's happening in my base at the moment, because I do not have any secondary economy. I do not have much left. Titan, of course, dropping another infantry drop in front of my Humvees to try to take some more out. Here come the King Raptors. But 2 Humvees left. That's all that was needed. Neo with 1 Ranger, able to walk slowly through on low health. Forced the cell on 1 airfield. 2 Humvees, able to get it done against the King Raptors on the other airfield. Titan, nothing left defensively in his base. Looking very exposed now. Pcap, up in the middle of my own base. So at this point, even though we've gotten through the meat of Titan's base, I'm seeing this group from Pcap and I'm thinking that that's it, we've lost. I wasn't able to do enough. I was in Pcap space, I was in Pancake space, I've been in Titan's base, but none of what we did was enough to actually make it happen and get a win. Sells the command center, gets the war factory down, but Pancake coming here, adding insult to injury with another army. Gonna take out my infantry here, and I'm thinking that's it. There's no answer. Skippy comes in with one of the most clutch bombs of all time. There is a nuke cannon, there are 2 overlords, and a quad cannon left. Skippy coming down with some overlords. Is it enough? Neo in the back of Pcap's base, making him think about some other things. Pcap disabling the overlords, but I'm able to laser lock it. Take out the Black Lotus. And the offensive has been stopped just on the doorstep. I still have my command center. I've got a war factory and a barracks, but $200 and no means of making money. So I am all general's promotions at this point. Neo's in Pcap's base. Pcap with nothing to stop him, really. Pcap does have money. He's got the internet center. Pancake just about to run out of money. Skippy, plenty of money because that supply dock wasn't being collected for a long time. Neo, out of money. $2,000, but out of ways of making money, except for 1 supply drop zone. Titan, I assume that was a paradrop. Pancake with the rebels, and Neo's about to lose his base if we can't put something together here. I get the paradrop in the back to deal with Titan's units, bringing Humvees down, and he gets to keep the supply drop zone. So, Neo's base does not become Pancake's base, even though it was very close to being so. It does have to sell a couple of buildings, but Neo's free to fight on. Loses a reactor. And Titan gives up because he had nothing left. So, Pancake now GLA with power for just a little bit, at least. But Skippy's got the overlords. Pancake a buggy, but it's not upgraded. Does not have the rocket upgrade either. So not going to be enough to stop these overlords. Skippy's been slowly regaining territory. Now is collecting out the supply in the middle as well. Last reactor for Pancake goes down, so that shuts off the defenses. And Neo's got free range to clear up the south and then move moving to Pcap's base, so Pcap does have some money left, but just not enough after that push into my base. Not enough money to build one last army to take out Joe's two Humvees, or to come up and deal with those overlords from Skippy. So Pancake gives up the ghost. Pcap gives up the ghost. And that was the game.
You are victorious.
I think everyone had their base invaded. Neo had his base invaded. Skippy's was carved out like a crescent moon. Mine was decimated until all I had left was General's powers. And yet we were able to get just the right amount of offense in just the right spot at the right time in order to be able to find a way to clutch victory from that game. As messy as it was with me losing my 4 Humvees in the middle to those mines. Nobody played perfect. It was a slugfest back and forth in all 3 layers of the map, but us getting in with those Humvees, stealing one of Titan's airfields and then destroying the other one, that was just enough. Skippy was able to rebuild on top with the offensive into Pancake's base in the middle of the game and got his superior armor for China going against the weaker GLA tanks, and that was enough. It was all just barely enough to make it happen. And Scottagorn with the most units created, looking like units destroyed goes to Pancake with 97, buildings destroyed 11, and supplies collected 71,000 for Neo. I don't know how that happened, since I think his oils were destroyed sometime in the middle, kind of like the rest of us, and he only ever had the 1 supply drop zone, but by some black magic, Neo always comes out on top with the most supplies collected, and there it is again. So that was game 5. Well into the night, everyone was tired, but everyone gave it their all, and we will catch you next time for some more replays.